Hello all. Alright, we have some really bad news. How unusual. It's not that I look for bad news, it's just that that's what's always happening on the planet Earth. It's TPP. Don't you just love that? Okay, so the TPP countries have reached agreement. That's bad news. Let's go into the details. Now, you remember that when Obama came into office, he started this TPP thing right away, trying to get this agreement passed by 12 Pacific Rim countries. These are the countries. You'll notice that most of them are kind of in the poor range. So the ones that are really going to get axed by this are the U.S., the people of the U.S. and Canada. And let me show you why. So TPP is a group of corporate lawyers that work for Wall Street at the top end of Wall Street that will now control pretty much everything that goes on in these 12 nations. For an example, let's look at something that the U.S. is definitely dealing with: drug cost. So one provision of this TPP is this investor-state dispute resolution. This is another group of lawyers who try to solve disputes by the way of suing other nations for not allowing the same rules as everything else in the TPP. So if the U.S. has stronger rules than all those other countries, the U.S. has to back down to the rules of those other countries. For an example, the time that a monopoly period is given to a drug company. So it has been for 5 years. For 5 years that the drug company can charge any price they want. And after that, it's then put on the standard market and other companies can start using these drugs and the price comes down. Well, right off the bat, they went from 5 years to 8 years and they wanted 12 years. The U.S. wanted 12. Are you paying attention, Mushy? That's 12 years the U.S. wanted to have monopoly protection? I thought the U.S. was all about not monopoly protection. So the rest of this trade agreement will not be seen for another month. But all these countries now need to ratify it so that it'll pass and become law. There is one more issue, and that's with the unions. Apparently, they can sue, so Walmart can come in and sue the U.S. if anybody wants to put in a union in Walmart. Can you believe that shit? People, you think it's bad now. Wait till you get a $700 aspirin type pill. Unbelievable that we're going to allow this. The U.S. is expected to pass it right away, of course, because the Democrats and Republicans are both the same and both want it. It means money for the ultra-rich corporate Wall Street group, and everybody else is going to suffer. Another example is, of course, the Clean Water Act here in the U.S. The Clean Water Act is too high for the rest of the nations, so we will have to reduce our clean water requirements to solve the problem of other countries coming in and buying our water and having to keep up with the stringent requirements from the different countries and counties and states. All that gets thrown out, and we have to go with what the TPP comes up with. So if they say that arsenic can be put in the water at 100%, we have no say over it. If another country doesn't agree with that, they go through the system and they sue the country, which then the country has the right to sue the state, then the state can go after the individuals who are causing the problem. So if you're, another example is if we protest Shell oil going up and drilling in the Arctic, then Shell can sue the U.S. for interference with their corporate profits. Then the U.S. have the legal right to go after the people slowing Shell down, such as people in kayaks and putting signs on bridges. This TPP is the death of the world as far as finance and progress goes. There will no longer be progress forward, there'll be progress backwards. We will become further and further, more and more backwards in rules and regulations. Both environmental, that's the one they really want, is drugs and environmental regulations brought way back so that the profits go back up again for these poor companies, these poor, innocent companies. What can we do about it? Boy, I just don't know. Both the Senate and the House here in the U.S. have tried to pass it, are for it. Bernie Sanders is the only one arguing against it, well, along with Jill Stein and a few others. But most people that are running for D's and R's want TPP. So it comes down to our voting, doesn't it? If we vote this garbage in, we're going to get garbage out, and that's what we have, is garbage out. Alright guys, we'll keep up on this. There's a lot more to this than that. I just barely even brushed the surface, but I wanted to put a little video out on this bad news. If you have any comments or any information on TPP, good or bad, what's your thoughts on it, and so on and so forth. I wonder how long before videos won't be allowed to be put on the internet. We wouldn't want to spread the word or anything. So I appreciate all your comments and your ups and your downs and your new subscribers, and I've tried to respond to some of the comments, but not all of them are going on. So until next time.